On April the 11th, 2023, it's going to be one of the most lucky days of the year, and it's going to, in fact, impact each of us differently depending on our rising sign. You can listen for your sun and moon as well. This is when Jupiter goes into the heart of the sun. Sun is called a Cazimi, and it's going to be the power of the divine intelligence of the solar energy, this kind of king-like quality of our solar system meeting with Jupiter, who's also benevolent, Santa Claus, fairy godfather, and the two of them power up and shine brightly through each other, like the sun is shining through Jupiter himself on the 11th. This is going to up the luck, up the wealth, up the prosperity, but also just the goodness of life on the 11th of April. Now, this is happening in the context of Jupiter being invisible for the entire month of April and not coming into our visible sky until May. And that's called combust or invisible and under the beams of the sun. Whichever way you call it, we can't see Jupiter. When you can't see Santa Claus, you can't see the fairy godfather, you can't see this dude in the sky. Yes, you know that things are not as good as they could be, at least in the outer world. Your inner guru, your inner guide, your inner teacher may be activated. However, the exception will be the Cazimi day. And we're going to talk about it now in terms of the Sabian symbol. We're going to talk about in terms of the archetypes from my favorite book, Ren Butler's Archetypal Universe. And we're also going to talk about your sign and what it might mean for you. Of course, this Cazimi is happening in Aries. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising, you're going to benefit a lot from this. Sagittarius as well, fire trining to this energy, and Leo's super flow to you guys. And, secondarily, the squares will get a really intense hit as well. So signs that square, okay, the Aries placement are Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. The other signs, you're going to feel it more subtly. It's going to be a soft touch, a sweet glow, nothing intense, but still quite nice. We'll be talking about that when we get to your sign. The Cazimi is happening at a certain degree. Of course, it's happening at 21 degrees and 45 minutes. That means, of course, if something in your Aries sky is near 21 degrees, especially sun, moon, or rising sign, it's really going to kick ass for you. Same with the Libras, same with the Libras across the way, sun, moon, or rising. You really feel it quite intensely, especially because it's happening if your sun, moon, or rising is near 21 degrees of Libra and Cancer and Cap. You guys are really getting an incredibly intense energy from this incredibly lucky day, but then the flow energies for the fire signs as well. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I am a whole sign house astrologer using the Hellenistic tradition. Plus I dabble in Babylonian tools and techniques, Indian astrology. Every now and then I add a tool from there. I'm a bit eclectic, but I am, for one thing, using whole sign houses and the tropical Western zodiac. This is not sidereal astrology. There we are. If you are new to my channel and you want to check what I'm doing, my Sky Reader course is launching in April. Check out the description box, get on the wait list, get early bird discount notice, check out other things that I'm doing, such as my Patreon community, where this thing being recorded on March the 28th won't be available to the general public till quite a bit after. Patreon gets it before you get it, and it's ad-free for them. So why don't you check that out as well? And my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, a swig of weekly astrology news, comes out every Sunday in your inbox. And what you can do with that, besides get the week ahead written by me, individual like content that I create somewhere else, you can also get all ahead of the curve for my contests, my promotions, discounts, codes for readings with me, etc. All of that information is especially going to the 2,300 subscribers of my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. Let's get talking about this Jupiter story. First of all, Cazimi, right? It means in the heart of the sun. Jupiter will mesh with the sun on the 11th. Now on the 10th, 11th, and 12th, it's all kind of enchanted. It depends on where you live in the world, but it's when he reaches that 21 degree, 45 minute that he's exactly Cazimi. Cazimi in some traditions is within 17 minutes of perfecting a conjunction. Some astrology people say traditionally a degree away. So take it as you will. It's around 5 in the afternoon or so in Eastern Daily Time that it's kind of perfecting as a Cazimi. And then you could probably back it up by 12 hours before and 12 hours after. There's this luck in the sky. It's a great day to choose to do something, to bake it in, like to launch a website, to send an important email, to begin a trip. I mean, things you begin under the Jupiter Sun Cazimi have a sort of inception point of goodness baked in. So I'm going to incite something that day. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll launch a course or I'll do something on April the 11th. I don't know what it is, but you want to take advantage of it, right? The degree to which you have, any placements in Aries, even if it's not your sun, moon, and rising, and it's near 21 degrees, within, let's say, 3 or 4 degrees on either side, that planet becomes a part of this inception of this new beginning. But don't ask me in the comments, well, what if my Mercury's there? And what if I can't answer all your questions like individually for that, but just know you have to know the meaning of your planets. The planet, like to say this Cazimi was happening next to your Saturn in Aries, and that would have an influence. The Saturn, your natal Saturn, is getting juiced up with something good. Then you'd look to the houses that Saturn rules in your sky. All right, so let's get talking about the two things. I'm going to talk about the general archetypes and then the Sabian symbol. Just briefly, Ren Butler, Sun, Jupiter, what does he say? A warm and sunny nature, dramatic flair, enthusiasm for life, outflowing zest, joy, goodwill, generosity. I'll take some. Archetypes, the great-hearted heroes, the sun-warm golden beaches of Zeus's Greece, classical homosexuality with its glorification of the masculine principle, the virtues of Apollo, the sun god, Plato's the good and the true. Now, just in general, it's a lucky vibe because Jupiter is luck and the sun is shining through him. Jupiter is goodness and the sun is shining through him. Jupiter is beneficence and truth, and the sun is shining through him. At the time of the Cazimi, also, Apollo, the sun god, is directly opposite, and Athena is in a square. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you the sky so you can see what I'm talking about. But before I do that, because this is like a tension, but it's still a lucky Jupiter. And he's working with Athena, and he's working with Apollo, the sun god, across the way. Under the light of Spica and Arcturus, two of the most powerful stars for wealth, prosperity, luck, and goodness that are possible. Now, Apollo is a sun god, and king-like energy is Jupiter. And I will say this for the collective, there could be some breakthrough in which there's a deposing or a stepping down or a moving away from something of some king. There's a lot of consternation that the man who would be king will not be king, which is King Charles. Coronation is in May. There could be an announcement. He decides he's going to pass the buck to his son, William, with this Jupiter in the heart of the sun opposite Apollo, suggesting like Jupiter is going to do something positive that opposes the sun god energy of another leader. This could also look like Spica, Arcturus, Apollo, Jupiter in the heart of the sun, some breakthrough for peace in Ukraine. You never know. This is April the 11th. Never say never, right? So the Sabian symbol is interesting. Then we'll look at the picture and then we'll do all signs. The Sabian symbol is 22 degrees of Aries. Why do we round up? I've had this book for 1,000 years. It's water drenched and everything. We round up because that's how Sabian symbols work. So 21 degrees is a 22 degree Sabian. And here's what the Sabian is. I'm sorry about that construction noise outside. I can't change it. I have no idea what that sound is, but I want to kill somebody because it's every single day. I don't know if you can hear it, but all right. It's Aries 22, the gate to the garden of desire. The gate to the garden of desire. The gate to the garden of desire with Jupiter in the heart of the sun. Keyword prospect. I'm going to read this woman's particular interpretation from the book that I've had for a lot of years, A Screen of Prophecy by Diana Roche, E. Roche. Sabian symbols, channeled symbols for all 360 degrees of the zodiac, in case you don't know what a Sabian symbol is. I can't remember when they were channeled. Elsie Wheeler maybe channeled them. Theme, exercising options. So remember, the lucky day on the 11th, what is spitting out of the sky for us? The symbol speaks to a complete openness to life, a childlike belief that the world was created for personal enjoyment. The image of the gate to the garden of desire suggests that whatever is desired can be easily obtained with little effort. Oh my God, easily obtained with little effort? Really? Okay, I'll take it. I'll choose to believe that's true on that day. There's nothing in this image to indicate any pressure or incentive to take action. Instead, there's an almost lyrical quality in this image of, remember, it's a gate to the garden of desire, that suggests the individual may simply be completely satisfied knowing that whatever he wants or needs is within reach. And waiting and waiting to be used at his leisure, but making no effort to obtain it. Positive. At its highest, the symbol represents the heightened alertness to opportunity, and that's Jupiter's theme: opportunity, growth, expansion, wealth, prosperity, luck. Okay. A heightened alertness to opportunity and a natural instinct for knowing the right time to make a move or exercise an option. And then stepping stones are opportunity, possibilities, openings, alertness, enjoyment, temptation, desire, and option. And the risk is guard against letting an opportunity slip through your fingers because you're afraid to speak up or reach out or accept what is being offered to you. Don't take too long to make up your mind on April 11th. The offer may be withdrawn. Your greatest advantage lies in looking before you leap and making your move at the right time. So, the gate to the garden of desire. Like, okay, it's gonna be fun. This thing happens every year, right? Just to be clear, every single year Jupiter will meet with the sun, but in a different sign, because he takes 12 years to go through the zodiac. So in January 29th of 21, he met at 9 degrees of Aquarius. If you had an Aquarius rising like I do, well, no, I have my Saturn at 9 degrees Aquarius. This Cazimi happened January 29th, 2021 on my natal Saturn in my first house. Was it a lucky day? I'll have to go back. Did it spell some kind of broader luck story over the themes of the time of the year that followed? Probably. So I'll say this, even though Jupiter is invisible in the sky, even though that's true, and we can't see him, except for that day. After May, he's visible again, and he stays in Aries until May 16th. So I would suspect that between the beginning of May 1st and 16th, he will try his best to also, Jupiter, bring it home, whatever he's tried to concoct, all right? Well, he was powwowing with the sun, getting a divine mission, because basically Jupiter dies right in the heart of the sun and gets reborn again as well. So he's being born again as a brand new Jupiter, freshly hatched. So look at the first 2 weeks of May for maybe some of the beautiful outpicturing. In March 5th, 2022 at 14 degrees of Pisces was the Cazimi day. And then here we have April the 11th at 21 degrees of Aries. And then in May of next year, it will be at 28 degrees of Taurus in May 18th next year. So it's a rhythmic cycle. It's the synodic cycle of Jupiter and the sun is when Jupiter comes into the heart of the sun to be born again, basically, and become freshly hatched as a brand new Jupiter. This cycle continues on and on and on, okay? But only once every 12 years in Aries. And let's take a look at the sky and I'll show you what it looks like. And we're going to whip through the all signs. Now, reminding you with Jupiter invisible all through April, it's not a time to take risky opportunity energies in your Aries zone of your sky. All right, so this is set for a Libra rising. It's just randomly such that it is. And here we have the sun conjunct Jupiter, Chiron behind them because they've both been in touch with Chiron. So it's infused with Chiron. You can see that as well, there is Athena at 22 degrees of the sign of Cancer squaring this Cazimi. So Jupiter will move and the sun will move into contact with Athena as time goes on. The sun will get there first. And then you can also see that the sun is opposite Apollo, the sun god. Now the sun god, Apollo, is not just leaderful figures. Apollo is the god of prophecy, but also the god of plagues. Yes, pandemics. There could be some breakthrough positive news regarding the pandemic story, although everyone's over it already, you know, but we'll see what that looks like. Jupiter is truth. So maybe some new truth is emerging into the sphere of the world. Mercury will be at the time, I didn't draw him in the 8th house of secrets. So we'll see what that looks like. As well, these stars, Spica, Arcturus, well, this is an asteroid, Apollo, a minor asteroid, but he is with these lucky stars for success and prosperity. Again, will a king become invisible, but in a positive outcome, like King Charles steps down and abdicates and says, I don't want the job, I'm going to pass it to William, let's redo this whole thing? Would there be some stepping down of some kind of leader, some invisibility, but it's for the better and the higher good? I don't know. Biden finally, decides that he's not fully cognizant of where he is and who he is at any given time and steps down. I don't know how that's going to be necessarily beneficial. But yeah, it would put Kamala in charge. And then, with Venus, who represents women in power going through, can represent that. I mean, depends on who. She's just lushing up. Venus was moving towards a flow dynamic, towards this Apollo sun thing, but she's got a ways to go. On April 11th, she just enters into the Gemini part of the sky. But fighting brothers, right? In Ukraine war, it's brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor. People who've shared territory and language together, fighting each other. And Venus is the goddess of peace. And as she moves into the part where the war could happen between brothers, civil war, civil strife, etc., war between humans, right? The twins are Gemini; they're human figures. She could be bringing peace. So I will suggest there can be a peace breakthrough regarding the Ukraine. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the party that brokers the deal isn't the United States. It could be China, right? And I wouldn't be surprised at all, because Pluto is sitting on the rising sign of China right now, and the moon of China as well. And so China is getting a lot of Aquarian power in the narrative at this time. And as you can see in the sky on the day of the Cazimi, Pluto, which is conjunct the ascendant and the moon right now of China, is China? Yeah, China is in a flow to Venus, the peace goddess, brokering peace deals between warring brothers. So I would even say that what we're seeing maybe on near the Cazimi time is China announcing that they've got some peace negotiations on board with Zelensky and Putin, as a stretch as it seems, right? For Zelensky to abandon NATO in favor of brokering a deal with Russia, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Jupiter brings the best he can when he's in the heart of the sun. And he's in the sign of the warrior, right? The sign of war. So anyway, for the world, that could be something like that. I think the square to Athena may have to do, she's about strategy and victory in war and strategy. And so again, I'm thinking this has to do with war stories and new kind of strategy. Mars doesn't fight so well when he's in Cancer. He wants to, this is kind of like the fierce mama bear protecting the children at the very best. And then it's mommy dearest at the very worst, the abusive mom, domestic abuse. But up here, he's not so strong anymore. He doesn't feel like fighting when he's in the sign of the moon. And the moon is in Capricorn at the time of the Cazimi. I didn't draw it in. The moon is being very stern and resourceful. And Mars is in the moon's house. And the moon is in the exaltation house for Mars. So I think negotiations around peace are possibilities in different places in the world during this time of the Cazimi. Okay, so we're going to go through all signs. I'm not going to do I'm going to show you the sky for this one. I'm not going to do the backdrop difference. This is going to be a faster moving story. I'm not going to spend hours on this Cazimi, but I want you to harness this. And remember, it's going to be different for everyone depending on this rising sign, which is why we're bothering, right? Starting with Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. Obviously, it's great for you. It's in the house of you. You are getting the lucky break, the goodness, the beneficence, the opportunity, the gate at the garden of desire. And interestingly, this is happening to you near a chironic healing that's just occurred as Sun Jupiter were going around that chiron. So you've healed some sense of self, identity, body image, who you are. You've just done some kind of chironic upgrade, basically, towards a deeper, truer purpose as well. And now you've got this luscious moment. Now, of course, if your sun, moon, and rising is, let's say, within, I say, 5 degrees on either side of 21 degrees of Aries, then it's going to be more particularly felt by you. For example, I have my sun at 14 degrees. It's kind of far away, but my sun could get some juice from this Cazimi. I have the asteroid Atlantis, however, at 21 degrees of, yes, in my Aries third house. So I might have an Atlantis download at the time. But for the most part, I'm simply saying it's going to impact all Aries in a positive way. And it could also open up something to do, of course, with seventh house matters, business partners, significant others, and audience outreach. Have Spica and Apollo over there. A Jupiter opposition in the heart of the sun doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Jupiter is a benefic, and Apollo, it could be a really up-leveling some kind of partnership in love and business with someone who's a leader or a stronger figure who's also very successful. A strategy coming from Athena in the house of home, property, land, and real estate. Could have a home opportunity, property, something coming for you. The sun is the lord of your fifth house of lotteries and sexual and romantic things. That looks like a breakthrough area. Sorry about that sound behind me or in front of me. Jupiter is the lord of your 12th house of backroom deals and negotiations and revenue from foreign lands. He's also the lord of your 9th house of foreign lands, foreign travel, and court and legal matters. You may have breakthroughs in court and legal matters, breakthroughs in foreign lands, travel, and backroom deals and negotiations and income from foreign lands. And you may have some breakthroughs from the sun in your 5th house, which is lotteries, sexuality, romance, and your children. This is all happening around the 11th, but maybe, possibly the first 2 weeks of May, as Jupiter becomes a visible planet again, he could also be executing luck in these areas of your sky. Look forward to it. Bake something in on that day. Do something important. It'll carry the signature for the distance, long haul. Alrighty, that sound is going to drive me up the effing wall. All right, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign in your sky. This Cazimi is happening in your 12th house. It's a subtle house. You are one of the signs that doesn't get the full sense of this being a big, big deal. But if you do have any backroom deals and negotiations that you need to do, or you need to get some money situations straightened out from foreign shores, this is definitely going to be a breakthrough time on April the 11th. You could get also some prosperity and luck and energy coming, or some good things coming from the 6th house of debts, loans, tenancies, and pets, as Apollo gets an activation while sitting with Spica and Arcturus, two very fortunate, very prosperous stars full of success. So look for that as those some themes that could show up for you, or some breakthroughs in your work life as well as your health. Because Jupiter is the lord of, or the lunation, the planetary ruler of your 11th house of good spirit, you could have pennies from heaven, or a windfall, or some lucky breaks from friends or people who wish to be benefactors. And if that happens, it's happening most likely, it could be the Cazimi day, but it also could be when Jupiter becomes visible in the first 2 weeks of May, while he is still in Aries, able to execute the promise that he's begun for you. As well, you could see that he's the lord, or the ruling planet dude, the guy who owned your 8th house of chunky money, bank loans, bank deals, negotiations, tax rebates, tax situations, inheritance money, all this kind of stuff is sort of given a glow up here by this Cazimi. The sun is the ruler of the Leo zone, and the Leo zone in the sky is your 4th house of legacy, wealth, property, and real estate. Those things are also getting an up level. Certainly things to do with land, property, real estate, rentals, and pets, things to do with chunky money, inheritance, and investments, and friends and allies as favors and benefactors, as well as windfalls. All of those themes are possible either on the day of the Cazimi, or perhaps in the first 2 weeks of May, when Jupiter is invisible and still traveling through Aries. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. What's going on here is that there is a Cazimi at 21 of Jupiter and Sun at 21 degrees of Aries in your 11th house of good spirit. Your elder sibling, your friends and allies, people who support you, your great gains from your career, a breakthrough energy, maybe around April 11th. Now, yes, the sky has moved on to April 12th in my pictures. This is an April 11th event. And as you have this experience of something glowing up here, there could be some action in your 5th house of children that is relevant, or lovers and romantic partners. Jupiter Cazimi opposite Apollo, the sun god, in the house of children, romance, and independent business enterprise can be a big uptick in your gain from your career, as well as relationships with romantic and love partners and children. Secondarily, the sun is the lord of your Leo house, and your Leo house has to do with trips and travel and siblings, especially younger aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, or anything you're doing in your online world. For any of you who have your own business, given that Jupiter is opposite the house of independent business enterprise, Venus is in the house of you owning it, you're on a glow up around your business success right now, and also romantic success, but romantic trips and travel, travel to see a romantic partner, or super online success with your business could be happening in the Cazimi day of April the 11th, or the first 2 weeks of May, when Jupiter is visible but still in Aries. And finally, Jupiter is also the lord of your marriage house, business partnerships, marriage partners, and also your career house, your reputation. All are getting a super glow up, your clients, audience, marketplace, business and love partners, monogamous relationships, and your career and reputation are getting a super glow up on the 11th and maybe the first 2 weeks of May. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. April 11th, Cazimi at 21 degrees of Aries is going to be in your career house. This is definitely a nice day for a career breakthrough, a spot of luck, opportunity, and expansion at the gate of your garden of desire. Remember that Sabian symbol in the beginning? Hope you watched that part. And if you're Cancer rising, this is definitely a nice transit because Jupiter's been trying to love you up in your career house now as he's up there until May 16th. Yay, you. This is a breakthrough time around April the 11th. You might find that with the sun god Apollo, it's because of things you're doing in and from your home that are bringing you prosperity, or some Apollo-like leaderful figure is involved in something at your home that up-levels everything in your career. You know, you also know that Jupiter is the Lord of your ninth house, and that means it's things to do with trips, travel, foreign lands, legal matters, and father figures, book publishing. They could have breakthroughs for you as well on the 11th. And Jupiter is the Lord of your sixth house of tenancies and pets, and all of those things to do with debt, indebtedness, and the work routines, as well as your health. All of those get some lucky glow up, breakthrough glow up, like a blowout of your hair on April 11th. And the sun, as the ruler of your second house, may apply some of this Jupiter juice to your earnings, and you may have some increase in your earnings on the 11th, but also maybe the first 2 weeks of May. That's when Jupiter, bless his soul, is moving into direct motion visibly in the sky. Well, he's direct anyway, but you can see him in the sky the first couple of weeks of May, and this could be where you really start to see, a successful glow in your and a financial glow up in your earnings and prosperity in that area of your world. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. If you're a Leo, you're going to have a trine energy, a flow energy from this Cazimi. Remember, I told Sages and Leos would get a lot of flow from your ninth house of Lakshmi, luck, good, and this is a good house for luck and prosperity. It's also about purpose and dharma. It's also about lots of stuff, courts and legal matters and judges and book publishing and father figures and, oh, goodness gracious, so many things. Foreign land travel, spirituality. So Jupiter sun can be like the good father, the high priest, the spiritual advisor, the guide, glowing you up there. But on the 11th, pay attention to what is breaking through regarding opportunities and success in that part of your sky. But it's not just that part of your sky. Across the way is Apollo, exactly opposite, conjunct to the best stars in the sky, Spica and Arcturus, getting sort of infused with the luck and the prosperity and the goodness of those stars, especially the luck star Spica on Apollo, and being activated by Jupiter across the way, suggesting trips and travel, skills-based learning, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews, and your online world are also getting some kind of yay moment around the 11th of April. Because the sun is the Lord of you, the body, your sense of identity, and Jupiter's merging with the sun. This is going to be really good for your health and your sense of identity on the 11th, but also possibly in the first 2 weeks of May as Jupiter is visible again in Aries, bringing the super health glow up, super well-being to you, super sense of optimism and hope and faith in life. Jupiter is the Lord of your eighth house of chunky money. Yes, you could have inheritance money, but also tax rebates, also business partner monies, also spousal support, just chunks of money coming to you as a result of this Cazimi. And fifth house money is lottery money, and Jupiter rules your lottery house. Gaming, speculation, those are up-leveled as well. Looks like a financial upgrade. Possibly also, if you're looking for romance, I don't know, a Cazimi in the ninth house and Jupiter ruling the fifth house, finding your true partner in love because you were traveling to a foreign land. I mean, we do have a Venus sextile, whole sign sextile from your 11th house, or a friend introduces you to someone in the church or something like that. For some of you, if you're Leo rising and single, this could augur in a new romance on April 11th or in the first 2 weeks of May, because then Jupiter is visible to strut his stuff. I think I need water. But should I wait or should I get the water now? I'm going to get water. If you're in the live premiere and you have not hit the like button and you want to hit the like button because you're liking this stuff, hit the like button. I'll be right back. Okay, here I come with my water. All right, here we go. We're in the Virgo land, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. in your sky, what you've got going on is a Cazimi of Jupiter in the heart of the sun in on the 11th of April in your eighth house of chunky money. Yes, this is good for you. You could get an inheritance. You could get a windfall. You get a stock payout. You could get a tax refund that's enormous. You get something good happening financially on April 11th and or the first 2 weeks of May. You also could say the sun is the Lord. Okay, you could also say with Apollo and Spica and Arcturus in your earnings house, also you could have an earnings upgrade, or you could get so much money you don't even need to work anymore. Something good is happening on the 11th and maybe the first 2 weeks of May with the sun moving, as the Lord of or the owner of the real estate of your fourth house. Some of this fourth house energy could open up some opportunities regarding, legacy wealth. Sorry. I didn't say that right. Let's say with Jupiter, I meant as the Lord of your fourth house, which is a legacy wealth house, and he's in an inheritance house. Some of you are going to receive inheritance money, notice of an inheritance pending or something like that, possibly because of this Cazimi, and maybe more evident to you in the first 2 weeks of May, but maybe on the day of the Cazimi as well, which is April 11th. Now, you could also say that Jupiter is the Lord of or the owner of the real estate that is your brain come back online, your seventh house of marriage. And some of this money be your marriage partner. It may not be, if there's an inheritance, it could be your marriage partner, significant other, business partner is bringing home some chunky bacon. I don't know if they're going to get an inheritance or a windfall or some kind of chunk of money. So it could come through your significant other as well. I mean, Jupiter does exalt your 11th house of pennies from heaven and windfalls. And again, there's a potential for some money falling from the sky on your head here. And Virgo also, you could look to the sun being the ruler of the 12th house, backroom deals and negotiations, foreign trips and land and travel, or revenue from foreign shores. Some of you, this could be great gains from your career just because of, the Jupiter exaltation of your 11th. And the sun owning the 12th. For some of you, you could get a giant raise or promotion. And that makes sense, right, Virgo? Look at this Venus in the 10th house of your career at the same time. That definitely looks like a raise or a giant promotion. But there's so many ways this prosperity is basically a prosperity glow up for most Virgos, sun, moon, and rising. Expect that to probably play out, as I said, either on the 11th or so, or a day or two around that, or on the first 2 weeks of May. The fourth house is the house of the mother. Maybe your mother is going to give you a chunk of money. Since my daughter is a Virgo rising, I'm very hopeful of that. I don't think you just give her a chunk of money. She wants some money from me for something she needs to do. And I'm like, don't worry, honey, I'll cover it. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, I can cover it, but I'd rather have more money in my bank account before I covered it. Alrighty, so Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. On the Cazimi of April the 11th, for the first time in 12 years, Jupiter will meet with the sun in the sign of Aries. And this is a glow up and a love up of your marriage house. This is going to open up some portal of goodness, opportunity, growth, and expansion on April 11th. And maybe for business partnerships and reaching your audience, client, and marketplace in a new way. You can have some great success in that regard. Because the sun is also opposite with Jupiter, Apollo in the house of you with Spica, the luck star, and Arcturus, the wealth, prosperity, and goodness and protection star. There's a lot going on that you may be the agent of your own success, but also being helped by a significant, powerful other person. Look for breakthroughs of allies and alliances and legal contracts that are really powerful on the 11th of April that support you in leveling up to some new level of leadership and power in your life as Apollo goes through your first house. The sun is the owner of your 11th house of good spirit, a lucky house full of windfalls, full of dreams and wishes and hopes coming true, and full of allies and benefactors and friends who wish to help you. As well as Jupiter is the exaltation lord of your 10th house of reputation and career, while he also owns the work house, the 6th house of work and work space and colleague space and collegiate space. You also may have some luck regarding pets and leases and tenancies because the 6th house is his territory. And lastly, trips and travel and journeys that are shorter, as well as the online world and your online platforms, 3rd house, and things you're doing in your local neighborhood or involving siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, and cousins are all experiencing some possible goodness because of this particular Jupiter Cazimi with the sun. You may also think about the way Third house matters and seventh house matters intersect. Could be a trip that you have an opportunity to take on April 11th with somebody you love, your significant other, business partner, things like that. For the most part, this is very positive for you on the relationship front. And look to the first 2 weeks of May, whether that's your business relationships, client relationships, or main squeeze relationship, to have some significant positive developments. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a Cazimi of Jupiter on April the 11th for the first time in 12 years. This is happening at 21 degrees of the sign. Just ignore my sky because I'm now moved a day ahead. I'm on April 12th. It's happening at 21 degrees. Aries on April the 11th. And, it plays up for quite a while. I mean, you can see that into April the 12th, it's still pretty well a Cazimi. So I should just say April 11th and 12th in the beginning, but the exact day is the 11th. I did say earlier, the 12 degrees on the 12 hours on either side. But anyway, here's the lucky break. It's in their house of leases, tenancies, pets, things to do with your health, things to do, Scorpio rising, with your, especially rising with your debts. You could eliminate a debt, especially with Venus in the house of chunky money. Looks like some of you guys are eliminating a debt as a result of the April 11th/12th Cazimi. And you may look to the fact that this also could involve an opportunity to rent a place or lease a place, especially with Pluto in the 4th house of real estate and the 6th house of tenancies and leases in the 6th. Positive developments in the workplace, like a raise or promotion, are very possible because the sun is the owner of your career and reputation house. And the workspace is something good is happening here. It could happen on the 11th, 12th, or it could happen in the first 2 weeks of May as a later out picture of the seeds of goodness planted here. We want Jupiter to be visible, to pass out the goodies in his Santa Claus goodie bag for you. Jupiter is the ruler of your 5th house of pregnancy, fertility, children, romance. Those things could have some lucky breaks and breakthroughs, especially with Venus, fertility goddess, talking to Saturn in your pregnancy house. Some of you could get pregnant, or your partner could. Also, you have Jupiter as the exaltation lord of foreign lands and travel and legal matters, while working in your favor during the Cazimi or the first 2 weeks of May, or book publishing, opening up doors of opportunity. You also have Jupiter as the lord of your earnings house. There's definitely raise, promotion energy here, upgrades in your finances. Yay, Scorpio, things look good. And it's definitely very good for your health. If you had any health challenges, Jupiter in the heart of the sun in the house of sickness will turn it around, especially with Chiron nearby, and look to better health on the horizon as a result of this Cazimi. There's a helicopter going by and it's on the way to the hospital. That's the hospital helicopter. Alrighty, a Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Jupiter is your lord, as it is for the Pisces rising, so it's a big deal for you. And this Jupiter Cazimi, Jupiter in the heart of the sun every year, is important for you. This one's happening in Aries at 21 degrees on the 11th into the 12th of April. Now, this Cazimi at 21 degrees is opening up opportunity, a gate of desire. Remember that Sabian at the beginning? I hope you listened. And it's in the lucky house. Jupiter is a luck god in a luck house. And this is a lucky moment for you. This can be a lottery win. Yes, it can. This could be a gaming win, a speculation, a risky financial speculation that pays off. This can be a breakthrough in romance, love, fertility, and pregnancy. This could be an auspicious meeting of a new love, especially with Venus in the 7th house. If you're in an existing relationship, it definitely makes it sweeter, and you're going to go through a period of time on the 11th, 12th, plus maybe the first 2 weeks of May, where things are going much better in your romantic, significant love relationships. If you have your own business, this is also a super powered up goodness on April the 11th, 12th, where things are starting to look lucky for you in that area. Jupiter is the lord of your body, and this is really good for your health in the heart of the sun, bringing you greater vitality, enjoyment, enthusiasm, inspiration, and life force energy from the 5th house to your 1st house. Jupiter moving through your 5th house is a manifestation transit. It's been happening for the last 5 months, well, since December 20th, and maybe this is a good opportunity portal on the 11th, 12th to put into a vision board or a dream journal or something what you want to manifest. You're on steroids on the 11th, 12th to manifest or plant seeds for that. Jupiter is the exaltation lord of chunky money, and some of you will be getting some chunky money. It could also help you pay off debts. And Jupiter owns your property, land, and real estate. Really a good opportunity on the Cazimi of the 11th and 12th to buy a house, sell a house, or in the first 2 weeks of May when he's visible, execute the purchase or sale of a home. Alrighty? Possibly legacy wealth is a potential for you guys with Mars moving through the house of inheritances and Saturn in the legacy wealth house. Some of you Sagittarius may be coming into some money from your family of origin, whether you're inheriting it or they're just giving it to you. I don't know, but that kind of money can come to for you. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. On the 11th/12th, there is a Cazimi of Jupiter in the heart of the sun. This is very auspicious and lovely energy. It's going to open up a portal for you in your 4th house of property, land, and real estate that only opens up once every 12 years. It is a great chance for you to buy or sell real estate or to move your home, expand your home, or have something really good happening in from your home. And because of that energy, the sun is the ruler of your 8th house of chunky money. It could definitely look like bank loans, mortgages, buying, selling, all of that kind of stuff to do with property and land. Because Jupiter exalts your 7th house of legal agreements and contracts, as well as business and love partnerships, you may be also being able to attract the perfect buyer or be able to succeed in a really good deal in property buying and selling. Or this could also just mean that on the 11th, or 12th, just ignore my calendar, we're now on the 13th, you could have some really sweet energy going through your sky to do with things to do with your relationship, your significant other kind of story. And maybe the first 2 weeks of May, things are really going well between you and that person. Jupiter is the exaltation lord of your marriage house, and he's going to the heart of the sun from property, home, and real estate. Now, Jupiter also owns your foreign lands and foreign shores house, your 12th. Some of you may be buying or selling property in a foreign land or foreign shore. That's very possible with this transit. Also, you'll have some success if you want to do that, because with the 8th house being the sun's domain, things should go well in terms of financing. Jupiter is the lord of the house of trips and travel and siblings, and those areas are also blessed in the Cazimi day, as well as in the longer run, maybe of the first 2 weeks of May. I hope that works well for you. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. Am I going too fast for you guys? If you're in the live premiere, please hit my like button. You know that when you hit the like button in the premiere, that grows this channel really quickly, and because the algorithm sends it to everybody afterwards, and if I don't get a lot of those likes, it doesn't do that. So I've learned my lesson. I also learned that launching videos on Sunday, despite the back end of my channel saying I have lots more viewers active on Sunday, I always get dead in the water videos, and I realized that I'm not doing it anymore because it's the lowest day in terms of premieres leading to success. So no more videos on Sundays. It's been a dud. So, yeah, and I'm recording this way ahead of the curve. You want to get this early, join my Patreon community. They get it ad-free. This is March 28th. You guys won't get this for a while. Oh, that sound of construction. I'm an Aquarius rising like you. Yes, Pluto's in our house. We're becoming the mafia boss, the Don, the tyrant, the leader, the powerful one, the wealthy one. It's not the end of the world. No, I don't think it's going to kill us. And it all depends on what Saturn's doing in your natal chart, how tough or rough this will be, but that's another story. So what we have here is we have the Cazimi on April 11th/12th, and it's going to be at 21 degrees. The gate of our desire is in the 3rd house. That's our online world, trips and travel, siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews. Opportunity abounds on April the 11th. Great day to launch a website or to do something online, to bake in that Cazimi, or to send a communication out that's important to the work to you. Because it's a communication and writing house, it would be a great day to start a writing project, because you will bake in the beginning of that project a Cazimi of Jupiter in the heart of the sun. Yay, juice. And if that buzzing sound doesn't stop, I'm going to tell you guys, this is driving me nuts. It's some construction sound next door, and I don't know how they can get away with it because my windows are closed and it's way louder than you can hear. I almost had to plug my ears. Okay, so continuing then. We have this Cazimi happening here in a sextile flow to our 1st house of identity. It will feel good to us. We'll like the vibe of it. And across the way in the 9th house, which I didn't mention for everybody, is the Apollo sun god. Great for book publishing, foreign lands, foreign shores, legal matters, working out in your behalf in lucky, auspicious ways. Now, also it could involve, because Jupiter exalts your 6th house of leases and pets and tenancies, it could involve something going on there that has to do with a development that's positive on April 11th around lease, property, tenancies, etc., or pets. Jupiter is also the lord of your earnings house, and there's no doubt about it. This could open up a gateway on the 11th, 12th, and into the first 2 weeks of May of greater earnings and greater financial gain for you. Because, Jupiter does own that part of the house, the sky, and he's in the heart of the sun, so he'll do what he can to support you there. And lastly, Jupiter is the lord of your 11th house of pennies from heaven, which is windfalls, unexpected financial gain, but also great gains from your career ambitions. So with that said, you could have a lot of more money coming through your career actions in the world as a result of the Cazimi, or a sudden windfall around April the 11th, with Venus in the house of lottery wins, speculations like, casinos and horse races and gaming, winning at games of chance, basically, or speculation financially, leading to some breakthrough. Yeah, that looks really good on you. For some of you Aquarians, you could be definitely winning a lottery. Now, this can be a pregnancy thing too with Venus here for you or your partner. So just as a little side note. But the reason I got down the rabbit hole of lotteries is the 11th house can bring that kind of success of pennies from heaven, windfall energy coming to you. And because that's Jupiter's territory, that's what Venus can also lend a hand with as she travels to your 5th house. Yes, on the Cazimi of April 11th, but possibly even the first 2 weeks of May, some financial windfall bounty coming for you. This is feeling good to you, of course, because Jupiter's in the heart of the sun in that sextile to you. It's good for taking trips and journeys, especially local, especially not too far away. Any journey you take on that day should be pretty blessed on the 11th and 12th, and siblings can bless you as well. The 11th house is the elder sibling. If you have an elder sibling, that person can also be a great blessing for you on the 11th, 12th, or in the first 2 weeks of May. Firstly, and always firstly, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, you guys are having a Cazimi, alrighty, of Jupiter, the lord of your chart, your number one planet, the Lagna lord, the ruler of the ascendant, the helmsman. All right, all the names we call that planet, Jupiter, is the one you need to pay attention to in the sky. And he, once every 12 years, goes into the heart of the sun, and this time it's Aries, in a different sign every year. Aries is your money house, your earnings house. Yeah, no doubt about it. You're coming into a greater period, Pisces, of opportunity and luck and prosperity around money flow, cash flow, and earnings. Because Jupiter is invisible all of April until the beginning of May. Even though he's Cazimi on the 11th, 12th, you may not see the fullness of this prosperity till the first 2 weeks of May. However, you can definitely have events around the 11th and 12th be pertaining to how this prosperity is going to be showing up. There is this energy here of Jupiter exalting your 5th house of money luck with Mars and Athena here. Possibly some of you are looking at some lottery money coming through, or lucky winning money as well. And you also have Jupiter as the lord of your 10th house of career and reputation. Because the 2nd house is earnings, a lot of you are looking at job opportunity, career opportunity, earnings opportunities, raises, promotions, or new jobs coming through your sky as a result of the April 11th, 12th Cazimi. And it could play out in the first 2 weeks of May, more evidently and dramatically visible in your life. Lastly, Jupiter is also the guy who owns your body, your health, your well-being. And so, of course, that is all going to be given a super glow up as you feel more faithful, hopeful, optimistic, half full cup. Subjective well-being is on steroids, feeling good for you on the 11th, 12th plus 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of May when he's visible. You'll really feel on top of the world. And your health, if you had any challenges, may be on an improvement direction as a result of this Cazimi. Alrighty, guys. And with Venus in your 4th house, FYI, you're enjoying your life in your domestic home, and maybe you're decorating and revising and decorating it or something like that. Alrighty, so that's that. I'm going to stop the share. Back to me. I was up in the little corner of the box. I'm going to now take a long walk on a beautiful sunny day in Vancouver, Canada. It's gorgeous here today. And I wonder if I could show that to you. Nah, forget it. But, sunny and beautiful with crisp white mountains, with the snow on the mountains. And I'm going to take a nice long walk to the store. And then I'm going to sit outside on my roof deck. And I may pour myself a glass of rosé. I've been recording videos all day. And what every girl needs at the end of a long day recording is a glass of rosé on a sunny deck above the city. Yeah, you guys know me, right? I'm trying to write the book, The Wine Lover's Middle Way, because it is my ambition to find my perfect balance in the loving of wine, because I do have a terrible habit of drinking a glass of wine or two a day. So far, it hasn't gotten in the way of being here in a healthy way in life, but you never know. So I gotta pay attention. Age 60. One in a week, and April 4th I turned 61. Help me grow this channel. Yes, no, I have not had any plastic surgery, but I've got a really good lighting in a window, and I've got makeup on, and whatever. So, but no, I have wrinkles. See, look, I really do. You should see when I get out of bed in the morning. Okay, I'm not really without wrinkles. This is a good filter on this, whatever. Zoom has a glow up feature to it as well. All right, I'm out of here. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and all of that good news. I would love to hit 25,000 on my birthday, April 4th. And that's, I don't know, 5 days away, 6 days away, 7 days away, something like that. So help me celebrate turning 61 with 25,000 subscribers. We'll have a 10 prize giveaway, live premiere. And so that will be a lot of fun to do. I'm looking forward to that. Going for my walk. Have a great day. Ciao, everyone.